I had had symptoms that I didn't realize were symptoms for probably a week, maybe even a week and a half, where I had chest pain, tightness, but I thought, oh, it's COVID and COVID lungs or something. But I didn't have any trouble breathing. Oh, it's probably acid reflux, but I really hadn't eaten anything that was going to cause that. And so I put that off until I sat down to read Saturday night, and I wanted to see if Jack Reacher was going to be able to get the bad guy. And all of a sudden, my left arm from my shoulder to my elbow started to tingle and hurt. And I thought, oh, I've pinched something. And so I'm rearranging my arm all over the place. And I finished the whole book, finished the rest of the book. Really stupid on my part. And it wasn't until I was laying in bed, there's no way I could sleep because my arm wasn't hurting by this stage, but I still had tightness in my chest. And I realized, Connie, you just had a heart attack. Sorry. So I called my daughter in the morning. She had actually been after me earlier. Mom, you need to take this a little more seriously. But I am woman and I am strong, and I really should have come up earlier. And that's what the emergency room is for. You're going to be safe. They checked everybody. Everybody was sitting farther apart. It was a safe environment. And people took it seriously, took me seriously. It was worthwhile, though I should have done it the day before. Women don't take this seriously. We're strong. Way more pain in childbirth or whatever. And you just need to understand this is a long-lasting thing. And I listened to Dana Allen when she talked at the Wear Red a few years ago about her heart attack, but I didn't think it ran in my family. So I just kind of ignored all that. And it doesn't have to really run in the family. You just need to be aware of health, of science, of what might happen. And no one is going to, I wanted to be strong. I just feel like I'm a strong person, and I'm not going to go up to the emergency room. But that's what they're there for, and that's what they're there for on Sunday afternoon. But boy, by Sunday morning, I said, oh, Connie, you've got to do something now. And so I was glad that I live 2 blocks away, but I was glad that I have a daughter here. I honestly think those 2 blocks made a big difference. Just being able to come, when I finally recognized what was really going on. Had I had to drive to the Dalles, had I had to drive to Yakima, that would not have been good at all. And it was being able to, I didn't have to use Life Flight. We do have access. I hear it when it comes in, and I do appreciate that. And they used that when my husband had an accident. But being able to have that ambulance service so close to that, I think that makes a big difference. So in Saturday afternoon, I walk 3 or 4 days a week, at least 50, 60 minutes. And it was extreme fatigue. I got partway down to World War II Park, and I had trouble putting one foot in front of the other. Came home and I took a nap. I never take a nap. And so the next morning, then I called my daughter, and she came and got me and brought me up here. And sure enough, it doesn't run in the family. Strokes do, but not heart attacks. And I think women, you see on TV, the guy clutches his chest and falls on the ground. That's not what happens with women. And it just, sometimes they've got pain in their jaw, pain across their neck. I didn't have any of that. Might even be an upset stomach. The symptoms just seem to be so vague, but when you start putting them together, that's what needs to be the indicator. And I think women need to make sure they take care of themselves and understand what really has gone on. Because nobody's going to laugh at you if you come up and they say, oh, you just got indigestion. You just need to be honest with yourself and put it all together and realize what has just happened. Going through what the possibilities were was really important because they wanted to eliminate. So we talked about the other possibilities, but Dr. Ferris was in the ED that day, and this was Sunday morning. It did an echo. We have all of that equipment here. So they were able to do that. They did blood tests to realize that my troponin level was like 200 times higher than it was supposed to be. And I really felt secure in knowing, and I was very secure in coming in because they checked me. They did a COVID test. They did all the things that would make you feel more safe and knowing that it was okay on top of what else is going on in the community. It was just a good experience, really. They were able to tell by that troponin level how early ago this may have happened, and it was within 12 hours, maybe 24 at the outside. But they were able to determine and say, you've got to go someplace else. So we went through the options. I ended up wanting to go to Portland. They sent me down there by ambulance. I didn't need to have a helicopter at that stage of the game. And I'd had, like I said, I'd had the COVID test, but that wasn't going to come back until maybe Thursday or so. So then I went to Portland for 2 days. They did put in 2 stents. It was just amazing to see where there's no blood flow whatsoever to the left ventricle, the bottom of that ventricle in my heart. And then all of a sudden they put the stent in and all of this blood starts to flow again. Health today is just amazing what they're able to do. People used to die of these. I walk a lot. I used to go to the gym twice a week, do aerobics with Susan Kelsey, and I just have felt like I've taken care of myself, but it's genetics. And he told me, the doctor, the cardio guy in Portland, if I had smoked and if I had diabetes, I would have had this heart attack 20 years ago. So they're able to look at those underlying factors. Both of our parents smoked. It was the 40s, and we all said, "Nah, don't think I want to do that." So none of us smoke. And I know how addictive it is. I understand that. But at 73 and with 3 grandchildren, and I want to be able to see great grandchildren, I want to be around a while. But if people know what the possibilities are, know all of the symptoms, what they might be, and you're not going to have all of them. It took me 3 symptoms before I took this seriously, which was a mistake. They did not, they tried not to roll their eyes when I told them how long I had waited, but he did make it very clear that waiting any longer than I did would not have been a good outcome.